back to the 90s. I firmly believe, in fact, I know for a fact that we were born in the best generation. We were the last of the good ones, the 90s kids, where we had it all. We had it all. And the kids that are being born today, I feel sorry for them. I mean, I've got a 2-year-old daughter, but she will not have it as good as we did growing up in the 90s, because there is so much to look back on and reflect now. The amount of nostalgia, the amount of good things that were happening back when we were growing up in the 90s. I'm 95, you're 94, and we wanted to do a real deep dive today on all of the nostalgic moments that took place during the 90s and sort of the early 2000s as well.
Yeah. Scoobies being one of them at school. Remember them?
We were just talking about that as you'd left. So
no,
whether you've overheard.
No, I didn't hear you said Scoobies.
Scoobies. And
I thought you were going to be like, where the fuck does that come from?
Scoobies, yeah, you spend hours. And for anybody that doesn't know, Scoobies were strings of plastic that you managed to get different colours and you had to weave them. I never bothered learning how to do it. I think
but he'll have to put a photo of what they.
He's got loads. Yeah, he was going to stick them all up. Everything we talk about today. But they were like little pieces of string that you would have in different colours, and you'd cross weave them over each other. And girls would just stick them in their hair, wouldn't they? And they'd be everywhere. They'd be on your trousers. They'd be in your belt buckles. They'd be on all of your like any sort of accessory anywhere, and you just have Scoobies everywhere. And I don't know.
You made a ponytail out of one, didn't you?
I think everybody did.
Maybe that was me.
But Scoobies, what a first start. Yeah, if you were born in the 90s, you'll definitely know what Scoobies are. And what's the equivalent now? What is the modern day equivalent of Scoobies? And people wouldn't have the patience, time, or care to even bother with it, because they're just on their phones.
Yeah, I think we had just enough social media where it was like you're kind of dipping in, dipping out. You know, we didn't really have Instagram. Well, we didn't have Instagram even until, when did that come around, really? Like
2010, around, we weren't even miles off.
Yeah,
like
no,
14,
I know school, but yeah, no, exactly. We'd like
nowhere
more...
near the 90s, you're projecting way into the future.
But
we
then
had MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace,
Bebo,
MSN.
BBM.
MSN.
Yeah.
Used to get people on chats and talk to them.
I don't know what you were doing on there.
But like you say, there was a bit of it, but not like enough to let it ruin your life. But then you'd also have, do you remember Beyblades as well?
Beyblades.
That was another mad toy.
Beyblades were mint.
And Digimon with the little, you put like marbles in it or something, you shot like little marble out.
It was all these things that just required your imagination to use. That was the thing of why it was so important to have all these toys and your imagination. Because I watch Aria now, and she's, like I said, 2 years old, and she has toys, and the way their imaginations work is incredible. And it's so nice to be able to see her imagination being developed, and how just picking up a bunny and believe it, and feeding the bunny her milk and sharing her milk with the bunny, thinking it's alive. It's just wild to think. And it's so nice. But yeah, all these things that are just being destroyed because we're immediately taking imagination away from kids now by just giving them a phone.
Yeah, it's just, you're reducing people's attention span by allowing them to get dopamine hits constantly. Like, you know, we'll think even not that long ago, before TikTok and Instagram Shorts and Snapchat and things like that, you'd have YouTube. Well, you had TV, which was like you'd watch like a half an hour episode of TV. Then it's kind of like YouTube. You have like, I don't know, like 10, 15 minutes, whatever it might be. And then it's kind of gone to like Snapchats, which was a bit different. But then now it's like quick, constant content of TikTok. It's like video, like 5 seconds, like bam, 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 bam. And you just, like, it's just getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. Honestly, there's going to be like 1 second video soon of just like a bang. People are going to be like, oh my God. Just, it's going that way. People just need to try and remove themselves from it, because, like I said, we just didn't have it, and we were far happier because we weren't just bombarded with this.
The challenge is watch this whole episode, see if you can do it. Challenge is on. Next one. Now you've said Scoobies, Loom bands. Does anybody want to buy a Loom band?
Yeah, that was kind of going viral. I remember like a video going around of that.
Yeah, that was a newer one, but it was some kid who's like, "Do anybody want to buy a Loom band?" And things like that would just go around, and it was so crazy. But Scoobies, Loom bands, all those little things that you would sort of just take at your time and you would be invested in as a kid. And the toys, like you said, the Tamagotchis,
Furbies,
Tamagotchis, you would have this little pet that you would have at home, and it would just, you'd take it into school and you had to look after this Tamagotchi, this little digital pet or a Furby. And again, now, like, people would just go, like, I know for a fact you'd ask most kids, and be like, what's the point in that? What's the point?
VR headset on and play with it on that.
Yeah, no, it's a shame. But Furbies, Tamagotchis, again, we had, or I think my Tamagotchi died many times, but it was still good fun.
Mine's still alive.
You're still looking after it.
It's about 30 now.
Dedication's the cause. He's got a job and everything.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Paying tax.
It's actually flown to the moon now. It's built up enough technology in it.
It's equally pissed off with everything going on in the UK. It's paying its taxes and sort of its digital crypto. It's paying in Bitcoin.
It's the only way it survives.
Speaking of being pissed off, the other little 90s nostalgia, I think this came on early 2000s, but the destruction of school dinners. Jamie Oliver came in and just absolutely terrored everyone's life and started doing healthy school dinners, which ruined everything for everyone, didn't it?
Pasta Kings, there was turkey Twizzlers, pizza slices. What else is there? I used to get like the brown. I mean, I don't know. I haven't actually been to any schools recently, but I'm assuming all that's.
I bet the Pasta Kings are still there.
Like a quiche slice.
I think the Pasta Kings are still there. I think it was more just like it was the crap that he got rid of. I think he introduced and helped introduce some of the Pasta Kings. Pasta Kings were good.
Oh, they're unreal. The meatballs.
Little meatball sauce. Oh, good. I want a Pasta King now. And then I'd always have, like, to be honest, I don't tell the teachers. I'd always pocket a few of the extra, like, little, like the chocolate.
The concrete cake.
Chocolate brownies and nick a few of them in my time.
They were unreal, they were.
And the shortbread biscuits. Because you used to have a fingerprint that you go through, and if you didn't have any money on your fingerprint, it was curtains because the dinner ladies were just not accepting. And I had to go into IOUs. It's only because I forgot. It's not that we couldn't have it. We were lucky enough to not have to worry about it. But if you forget to put it on, you can't have lunch.
Yeah. And then,
sad day.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't try and pocket a Pasta King in your blazer inside pocket, to be fair.
I don't know. I like a little.
So what's that leaking through your pocket?
I like a little bit. I like a little thievery, a little thievery every now and again. It's good for you, isn't it? But it's just
keeps you young.
Yeah.
That's where the generation's going wrong.
Yeah,
maybe.
I wasn't struggling for cash, but a little
5-finger discount,
little nick here and there. It never hurts anyone, does it? But yeah, school lunches, they were mint. The school assemblies. The songs you'd have to sing on the way into school. What would you have? You'd have, can't remember any of the little classics.
Hymns.
Yeah, the hymns. You'd have the school prayer. For our school,
fucking band now.
To us so dear, for all children far and near. Things like
Don't know that one.
But he's got it. There was a lot. We had we got the whole world
in his hands. Got the whole wide world
in his hands. That was a classic. Don't do that anymore. Or do that? I don't know. Probably in Catholic schools. You got the
you used to do the plays as well. All the plays at Christmas. Like I think they still
do. I bet they still do nativities, but just like in Love Actually, they've got children dressing up as octopuses instead of doing like the OG characters. I was the innkeeper.
The actual characters of the Bible, yeah.
Yeah, I was the innkeeper. I remember my line to this day because I'm obviously, I was destined for stardom. But it was, so the innkeeper arrived, Jesus and Mary arrived, and it was like, I'm sorry, but we have no room at our inn, but you may use our stable.
Yeah, I feel like I was teleported.
It was Oscar-worthy performance from a 6-year-old me, but yeah, that was a short-lived movie career.
But again, it gets people or gets kids involved with talking to each other, and instead of having, a constant screen and phone in front of them. I think they ran some like tests in some schools where they took all their phones away, and they hated it for like 2 months, all the kids, but 2 months, like 2 weeks. But after like 2 weeks, they all started just talking to each other because they didn't have this screen in front of them where, they didn't really have a choice. They had to talk to each other at that point. But it builds a community rather than just looking at a screen all the time to some, person playing World of Warcraft.
Well, you're forced to create relationships with people. You're forced to play and build friendships and build partnerships with people because there's nothing else to do. So you're forced to use your imagination. And we had toy soldiers, and you would sort of set up battlefields, and you'd play, and you'd go out on your bikes with friends and your mates to the park. Because what else are you going to do? You're not going to run home and play FIFA. You're not going to run home and set up your Xbox and play Call of Duty with your headset on. Like, all of a sudden, we were going out on our bikes to the forest and building dens and playing sports and playing outside, playing football. And now kids are being transported to Afghanistan, setting up claymores and throwing frag grenades at people. Like, what is it? And we wonder what's going on. It's wild, isn't it? Like,
although, to be fair, Modern Warfare 4, 5, 6 was a good time as well.
Yeah, it was mint. And so that's really where we were back to. So going back to where we were with the 90s, we had the OG, and our childhood being the best. We had the OG games consoles. I mean, I remember
PlayStation 1 and 2.
PlayStation 1 and 2, the Nintendo GameCube. What a machine that was. And we went around our cousin's house and played the N64 Pokemon Stadium.
And even snuck on GTA at one point.
Yeah. I remember trying to sell the idea of GTA to my dad when I was probably 10 years old. And some kid, some right little dick.
I remember this, actually.
At the game shop. So you used to, I'm sure it's still going, to shop in the UK called Game. And obviously GTA is an 18 plus game. And I said to my dad at the time, I was trying to sell him a lie and say that, it's just because it's Grand Theft Auto and you steal cars and you can get into fights and there are guns in it. And then we got the game, put it to the counter, and the guy said to my dad, he was like, "Is this for you, is it, sir?" And he was like, no, it's my son. He was like, "Oh, right." He goes, "Can I ask how old he is?" And he was like, "Well, he's only 10. And he goes, "Were you aware of what's featured on the game, are you, sir?" And he was like, "Well, yeah, he's told me that it's, there's violence and things." Because there's a lot more than that. There's prostitution, drugs, shooting, gang warfare. And he was like, "Oh, okay, thanks for telling me." And he never bought it for me in the end. So I got cock-blocked on San Andreas by some dickhead at the games workshop.
Yeah, you just wanted to go to the strip club, didn't you?
Well, it was a cultural phenomenon. GTA, when that came out, was massive. It was huge, and obviously everybody wanted to play it. And that was when you could see the takeover of games consoles starting to come in. When people were like the PlayStation, the original, you'd get it chipped. The original PlayStation, you'd have Crash Bandicoot on there. The original Harry Potter game, where you'd be casting spells on your broomstick. Oh God, it's taking me back.
I suppose that is it. We were just getting into it. We never started with Xboxes and all that kind of technology around. We were growing up kind of with it, where it was like not many people had it. You kind of would sometimes go to other people's houses to then play, and then you kind of playing in person with your friends, and then you'd go out after a bit. It's like, you wouldn't spend all day in playing, as a kid anyway.
No,
but,
definitely not.
We even went out. Like, we've had a friend that lived right next to us, didn't we? And I was best friends with his brother, or with the one, and you were best friends with his brother.
Still
and we'd
am.
go out. Well, exactly. And we'd go out and play on the bikes or something and build dens and stuff. And it's not like, again, all the time, but it was right by the Meadows Lake, wasn't it? Get people are going to live now.
We don't live there anymore.
Good point.
Yeah, but it is a shame with what's happened. But yeah, I mean, being outside, being and spending time and building relationships with your friends, even with your family as well. Like, so because everything's so easily accessible now on a phone or a tablet or a games console, the prices of them have come down, so they're a lot more available. There's obviously the different generations of them: PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5. You can buy a PlayStation 4 for probably 100 quid. 150 quid, 60 quid probably. So you can still get really good high quality games and play on a console that when we were growing up was inconceivable. If you do a graphics comparison to the first ever Call of Duty to what we're on now, put it on the screen for us when we get there, and you'll see the difference between what we were on and what's there now. And it's the same with FIFA. FIFA might be a better example, but you've got the old was it Road to World Cup '96?
Yeah.
And you had all that in the FIFA games, Pro
PES.
Evolution Soccer, and it was like pixelated crap. And it's mental to think that now you've got kids that have got access to these games, whereas we didn't. So it forced us to go and speak to our friends. If somebody had the new console, it was huge, and you'd all go around and spend time. The other thing as well is like the family time and the family element of it as well, because like you said about TV, we didn't all have TVs in our bedroom with our own Netflix login and things like that. We all had to watch what was on the TV that our parents were watching, and that did lead us to watching some shit.
Desperate Housewives, things like
Yeah,
that.
Desperate Housewives was one.
But we also had the dial-up internet when it was first. I mean, we had the worst internet known to man, like completely. And you had that sound. I'm not even going to attempt it, but you know what I'm on about. If anyone from the 90s would know that sound,
the dial-up login noise,
and it's like just that brings you back, and you're like, bloody hell, like that. We had to wait to log in. To log into the internet, you had to actually wait. You know, there's no Netflix. Blockbuster, another mad one. You'd rent your games and you'd rent your DVDs.
You'd go out to the shop, wouldn't you? So you'd sit down as a family and you'd decide that you're going to have a film night and you're going to go to the shop and you have to make the effort to go and find a film that you're going to enjoy, and you pick one out from the shelves and the selection that's there, and you pick something. Whereas now there's so much availability again for so many different films on so many different platforms: Apple, Amazon, Disney, Netflix, just to name a few. You've got ridiculous amount of options, and there's so much to watch. You end up watching nothing or spending just as long or scrolling through the options as you do watching the actual film itself. And then the same thing happens again. And we watch it and we notice it in our house. We'll pick a film and then we'll put it on, and then people will sit on their phones. And I know I'm putting, and it infuriates me because I know I've just put an absolute banger of a film on.
Yeah.
And you have to be invested in these films because to really, really enjoy them and really take from them how great they are.
Take it in, yeah.
And then people are just scrolling on TikTok and scrolling shorts and can't even watch a film for an hour and a half.
This is it. This is what, and it goes back to pretty much what I said at the start. You know, like attention spans are just getting shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter, and people can't just. So why people can't be bothered to have a conversation with someone, because it's just that much easier to just go, oh, I'll just watch a quick video. I'll just get my dopamine from that. I don't really need the dopamine from a conversation. So people are just getting more recluse and just keeping to themselves. But it's going to get even worse in the VR headsets. I know they're out and a lot of people have got, but when that starts to get widespread and everyone, we're going to end up like Ready Player One. It's going to literally end up Ready Player One. It's going to be mad. And we're all going to be able to just, well, I suppose you're talking to everyone kind of then, but we're all in some virtual mad metaverse craziness.
Sad, isn't it? Because you would essentially, like Australia have done, they've put a ban on all things social media for under 16s.
Yeah, and
that would be the way forward. It'd be a great way to do it, to get people back speaking to each other and building better relationships. Because then what you also get from it is a better understanding from, you know, there's this whole, we've just that Inside the Manosphere kind of bullshit documentary that's just come up where you can see how toxic certain sides of the sexes are. You've got extreme feminism and toxic masculinity, and you've got all these things. That's just because there was no integration at school. You've got a bunch of kids, lads growing up through school that never had any interaction with females because they were too busy playing Call of Duty and FIFA and playing times with their face stuck in the screens, that all of a sudden they see this older guy with a bit of success surrounded by women, and they've never even spoke to a woman. And they're basically saying that they're, you know, cheap products that just come and go, and they're useless. They've got no value unless they cook and clean, and they've got these stupid ideas of what a woman should be. Again, probably equally on the feminism side, that same thing, but for different context. It's because there was no integration at school, because no one was speaking to each other, because they're all too busy just looking at videos online, and there's no integration, which I don't know whether it is ever going to go back to it, which is why I say I genuinely think we were the last of the the best generation. and social media and phones and smartphones and technology is well and truly self-destruction, and it really.
I think, yeah, I definitely agree. I do think eventually it will kind of come back round because I just don't think there's a choice. Like, eventually people are going to have to talk to each other. But then again, yeah, maybe you just end up in a metaverse and people just, you just got your own friends that you just put your headset on. Everyone's just AI and you're in your own echo chamber and just everyone agrees with you and you just never have to worry and it's all just. So it could end up, it's literally like the Matrix.
It's like you said, you don't need to, do you? Because it's like now they're producing new technology to take as much of your independence away. And it's almost like, it is like a complete wipeout of the human species just through this advancement of technology. It's like we're going to take, and do you know the best way that it's actually been depicted? I'm sure it's Disney, but it might be like a Pixar thing. Is that Wall-E film?
Yeah.
He's a robot and he's cleaning up the planet, and the human race has pretty much now transported their civilization up to this spaceship, and they're all fat tubs of lard walking. In fact, they don't walk; they just sit in a pod. They hover on a pod, and they don't do anything. They don't need to do jack because technology is everything for them. And so that is where we're going, and it's scary because we had such a good time and the best times. I mean, I've just bought a new bike. And we're out in the woods, like still now at 30. Might seem sad to some people, but we're out exploring, adventuring, getting up to a little bit of no good, nothing illegal, but just we're just out enjoying ourselves, being in nature and being outside, and not stuck on a screen.
I think, yeah, and I think it does sort of come a little bit full circle because I just think the natural way of things, people are going to want.
Is that you wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi? Then,
yeah. I've seen into the future. I've looked into my crystal ball. But no, people are going to crave attention from people. And at the moment, that is in the form of a screen. I do think it probably will take some sort of action. Like, God forbid the flipping internet got turned off. And if there's a big giant, but I think they made the joke in South Park at one point, there's a giant internet button. And it's like, if they turn that off, it'd be chaos, obviously. Business is still fair enough. But just in terms of people becoming communities again, it would make massive difference, and it wouldn't even take long. And I think it would genuinely solve the problem because technology allows you to just be in your own echo chamber and talking to the people that you all agree with. So you just don't ever then talk to people that might disagree with you. So you end up staying in your little camp, and then they stay in their camp, and then no one wants to talk, and it's just all just warfare, attacking each other, and it's just we need to break down the barriers, man.
Very 60s hippie peace and love. I like it. Let's do a quick fire nostalgic, best of the 90s or best of. And I think just some of the things that quick fire you remember most about childhood.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Duel Masters cards. We didn't play that much, but that was still cool. Rotus the Traveller. Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon. Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh were the biggest for us.
Yeah.
I mean, now you've just had Logan Paul sell his Pokemon Illustrator card for $16 million, which is insane. Yeah. That he's managed to get that from what he paid was 4-5 million quid for dollars. And he's now tripled his money plus. And just goes to show the power of what these brands and things that have been going for so long. Pokemon still has today. The games, Pokemon Red, was the absolute just OG game that if you had a Game Boy and you got Pokemon Red as a kid, you were elated. It was so cool, and you'd be leveling up your characters, leveling up your Pokemon, and just what a game.
Yeah, but funnily enough, on that, Adam, our friend, he's found a load of cards. They're worth $2,000 Pokemon cards. It's not quite 17 mil.
Depends on the condition though, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, they're pristine. He's kept doing a proper fold this whole time. He said if they get graded, he'd get even more. Could be $4 or $5,000.
Just have a look, see what he's got.
Yeah, but no. So the card games, like the Yu-Gi-Oh, I think going out.
I remember on the Yu-Gi-Oh side. I remember because they were so prominent. You'd bring all your just to paint the picture for anybody that doesn't know. People or kids, every kid, you'd either have football stickers, because you'd collect your football guides and you'd have the 2000 year. So you'd have the Premier League 2000 sticker book They were mint, and you'd go to your local corner shop, and you'd get your stickers, and you'd buy your packs, and then you'd trade all the players. So you'd fill your magazine with all of the players of the Premier League teams that season, and it was so much fun.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
It took ages to do, and obviously some of the players were rarer than the others. Like you'd get a Dennis Bergkamp, Thierry Henry, and some of these greats. And if you had to trade up and it was like this live auction, wasn't it, with kids? And I do remember there were some times, a bit raving, when I was in year 5 and 6, I'd convince this kid in like year 3 or some of the younger lot that their card was not really worth anything, and this shit card that everyone had, I sort of traded. I don't remember doing it on this poor little lad, bless him. In fact, I think it wasn't it that I did that on the Pokemon. I did it on the Pokemon and the football stickers, but it was a Yu-Gi-Oh one that I remember, because he had a Dark Magician. Shout out the absolute OG Dark Magician character, and I traded some absolute crap for it, and I said to him it was a really good deal. I hyped up this card and said it was a great, mint first edition Dark Magician. Yeah, it was, what a card. And I traded him for it, and then I don't know how he caught wind of it, but he obviously knew that I'd done him on the trade, and he started crying to his teacher, and they came in at break time, on the next lesson, and they said that we need to have a word about this card that had been traded. They forced me to give it back, and I was like, all sales are final. Going on like...
It's not a good life lesson, though, is it?
Yeah, I was like, this kid's traded me his card willingly just because he made a bad trade. But no, they made me trade it back, which was highly unfair. But yeah, I remember that. It was that you were trading cards and stickers and things like that with each other as well on the playground. It was wicked.
Yeah, and even with the football ones, like you said, I remember in the inside of your wardrobe, you used to start then sticking them all on the inside of your wardrobe. And you have like the whole wardrobe door full of like football stickers,
weren't
they? Michael Owen and all that sort of stuff.
Well, so that was a big throwback. Argos catalogs, huge one.
Yeah, Argos catalogs. Yeah,
Christmas time again. Anybody that's not in the know, at Christmas you'd go with your parents to Argos, and you'd go through to the toy section, and you'd just be circling stuff in the Argos catalog, and then you'd cut it all out. And you'd give it to your parents, or you'd write it into a letter for Santa, and you'd send it off and say, "This is what I really want for Christmas."
Yeah, and then I'll throw another shop at you then. Woolworths. That was another mad one that was around, which was kind of like a sort of modern day TK Maxx kind of thing, would you say? And like a bit of a toy store. There's clothes. You could kind of buy quite a lot of stuff. It wasn't really secondhand, but that sold sweets. Maybe like more of a House of Fraser, but not that upmarket.
I think you've forgotten exactly what Woolworths was. I can't remember fully what Woolworths was, but
Woolworths.
It was more of
great.
Toys R Us, Woolworths.
But Woolworths
is still going because it's still in Australia.
No, it's
it's massive in Australia. I don't remember what they sold. It was more like you said.
It was in everything store as far as I was aware.
It's like a bit of a WH Smith, wasn't it? That's kind of what it was similar to today. It was a WH Smith. But yeah, Woolworths, some of the OG shops. What about the old cartoons as well?
Yeah, Power Rangers.
I mean, we
Ben
got
10.
But we got all the original versions of them. I was catching myself on the cartoon channel for one of my mate's nephews, and I was looking at all that, and they've done reimagined versions. They're the new versions of all the old shows that we got the OG versions of, and it's just, they were crap. I remember one of the most horrifying things I saw. Now, obviously, Aria was watching TV, and we got her onto some of the cartoons. Bananas in pajamas.
Yeah, they were freaky though back then.
Now I watched them, like I watched the Aria's version. They look really weird and animated, but the old original Bananas in Pajamas.
Yeah, they did look. Them. Nah, they looked a bit pedo-y. They do. They do
what was
look
their
a
name?
bit.
B1 and B2, weren't it?
Yeah, no, they do look a little bit pedo. To be fair.
What? Why are you looking at two bananas like that? Where your imagination goes sometimes.
They just look like, they look evil.
Bear
in the Big Blue House. That was a well, hey, I say, well, that's okay.
Yeah.
See you very soon, I know. What a tune.
It was.
I'll download that on my Apple Music after this.
You've probably already got it on your
Probably.
knowing your playlists. Bury the Bit, Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. What a show. Drake and Josh. What a show.
Mad show, yeah.
That's So Raven. Johnny Bravo. I've got them all listed here. Ed, Ed and Eddie. Rugrats.
Rugrats.
The Tweenies. Noddy. Thomas the Tank Engine. All these we got.
Yeah, Thomas
originals. Noddy. This was all before they got ruined. They were mint when we grew up.
Postman Pat. And his black and white cat.
His black and white cat, yeah.
Again, ruined. Bob the Builder.
Bob the Builder. God, see, all this stuff
Scoop
is so
Lofty
nice.
Wendy.
It's like a proper, like, taking me back moments, these are, when I'm watching all of these. Even the original animes, like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh! Obviously was huge, Pokemon obviously was huge. All the old animes were mint.
It's all just gone to shit. People need to just start watching. You know what? We need to set up a museum. That's what we've got to do.
A 90s museum
interactive
is a great
90s
idea.
museum where people can go.
That's such a good
have
idea.
Fun, you know,
Nobody
like,
steal our idea. That's something
Trademark
that would be actually something I'd go
like
and
a
visit.
massive one as well.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
with
huge
everything
one.
that's all
with
in
ball
there.
pits
Go and
and
make yourself,
shit as well.
You got the kids selling Loom bands. You
Yeah,
can go
Scoobies.
Make a Scooby. You get Tamagotchi.
Play
try and keep it
Beyblade.
alive. Oh,
The jumpy one.
That'd be so good.
There you go. We're going to look
I'm
like the
seriously-
new 40-year-old virgins with all this shit in there.
Not quite.
I'll come to me 90s store.
Nah, it's just a 90s stuff. That's a 90s museum. It's a wicked place.
Let's have a little corner for Blockbuster rentals.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea actually. I'm gonna seriously think about that.
Great thing now is
90s museum coming soon.
we can all do it. I mean, we hate it, but we could just do it virtual to start with. See how it goes. Put a headset on.
No,
because
because we've just said we're trying to get
I
away
know.
from that.
I'm joking. It's just to test the
Right,
concept.
you've ruined the idea now. Anyway, I'm going to find a different business partner. What
Already
else did we get
trademarked
growing up at school? Pen awards. You could only go on to. I don't know whether that's still around.
Pen award.
Yeah, you had
Get
to
a pen or something.
Yes, exactly. I can't believe you don't remember. You start on a pencil, then your handwriting goes. If it's good enough, then you get upgraded to a new pen, and then you get upgraded to a
Quill and feather and.
No, you get a fountain pen at the end.
No, I never
You
had
get your
that.
pen license. There you go. See, how did you never have it? It was
I didn't
because
have
you
pen
still
licenses.
scribble like a 3-year-old.
No,
Probably you haven't got
I
past.
had a quill and ink.
You
That's
haven't
what
got
I
past.
used.
You haven't got past your pencil. That's why.
I never got a pencil.
That's because you're left-handed, and you've got it's the work of the devil, and it left-handed people.
Yeah, I was actually not allowed to write because my
You don't remember pen awards?
No, I never had pen awards. We just got granted pens straight away.
That's a bit dodgy.
What year was this?
What do you mean? I'm only 18 months older than you, so obviously the same year that you were at school. We also
but
went
as
to
in,
the
was it-
same school.
No, but you're at primary school or something.
Both? No, yeah, primary school.
Is it secondary school? You're
No.
granted a fucking. You're not allowed to
No,
use
both.
a pen.
Yeah, no, from reception up to like year 3. No, year 6. Because year 6 in the UK.
No, don't remember pen awards.
You leave primary school at the age of 11 to go on to secondary school, and then you start from there. And
Must
go
have been a
until
thing.
18. Yeah, pen awards. I can't believe you don't remember that. That's obviously the Beryl handwriting pens. That is exactly what you got. You don't remember those pens?
I remember the pen, but I just used to take them. I never used to. I didn't win it
So
as
you
an
didn't
award.
earn the right.
No,
to
I didn't.
write with
I
a pen.
fucking took it.
You are
I couldn't
aware
earn
that
it.
that means it's illegal for you to now write with pens. You need to go back to
alright.
school.
Got me virtual pen.
You need to go back to school and get your license, mate.
I've already upgraded.
Jailable offence for not having your pen license and wielding a pen. And serious. It's a
Who do you call
dangerous
yourself?
weapon. I did do a bit of research as well. Number 1 single on your birthday, May 1994. Do you know what it was?
You did say Backstreet Boys or something.
No, Bump and Grind, R. Kelly.
God, that's where it went all.
Bit
I was doomed from
bit
the
of-
beginning.
It's a bit unfortunate. Yeah,
Good song though.
It's a good song. Yeah, unfortunate about the artist, and then
Yeah.
even more
no, not
concerning
great.
is then number 1 on my birthday,
Michael
Boxing
Jackson.
Day of '96, was Michael Jackson.
Fuck off.
It was Earth song, Michael Jackson. So great
Both
songs, great artists from a musical perspective. Bit of
Questionable.
some questionable sort of antics outside of the studio, I think, was really where both of those people landed themselves in some bother.
Maybe this is why you want to set up like a 90s play area, because you got Michael Jackson that was like, you're born on his day. It's like resonated with you so well, you've gone back to your birthday roots.
We'll let the audience judge that one. But yeah, both good songs. Shame about the artist. So there's another one from the 90s. Pick a Mix Sweets.
Oh, that was a good one as
Go
well.
into the shop now. Kids will never know was it a 5p Freddo or is it a 10p Freddo?
But I think we lived through both, but started as 5p.
Did it start as 5p?
I'm sure it started as 5p.
Freddo. 5p Freddo is nuts to think about. How much is a Freddo now? Because this
Probably
is
a quid.
This is inflation right here. It's called the inflation of Freddo. Common price 35 pence now. That is nuts.
It's outrageous, isn't it? That?
7 times increase. Mental. 700%. In
People
just
even
20
buy
years.
Freddos anymore.
I don't know. I might do. I'm gonna go and get one.
You do a taste test.
The biggest
of Freddo.
price rises. Look at this. This is great since 2000. 200%.
Jesus Christ.
5p.
Oh yeah, no 10p. Jesus Christ.
Freddo out here is just absolutely ducking on inflation like it's no man's business.
I was gonna say the Freddo Index be a new economic bloody indicator.
It's
probably
tracked by Goldman Sachs are taking a big interest in the Freddo pricing.
Crazy.
But Pick and Mix, you'd go into the shops with £1 and you'd come out with a bag full of stuff. A bag. And chocolate, sweets, Haribo laces, licorice, jelly snakes, all of the dib dabs.
Blue jelly sharks. Do you remember them ones?
Yeah,
as well?
all of the little sweets, the
real.
cola bottles, the flying saucers. Oh, God, we're getting there now. Licorice, all the do you remember the big, long jelly snakes?
Yeah,
They were
the
mint.
massive ones.
Yeah, they were great. And do you know what was weird as a kid now? And obviously, you've just grown up, but I used to be able to nail a bag of Haribo, bag of Pick and Mix,
Popcorn or something.
no problem. And now you give me 5 of them sweets, and I'm like, I'm done. Oh, it's enough for me.
No, I think speak for yourself on that one. I
Before,
could
I'd
demolish them
eat
still.
loads. Yeah,
Probably
it's
eat 2 bags.
strange. You buy a bag of Haribo, like the Tang Fastics, for £1, and I'd have the lot of them, no problem.
I think the bag was bigger back then as well. You probably had twice as much.
That's a
So
good
don't
point.
forget, actually, when it comes to inflation, it's even worse because they've made everything smaller. You get about 2 crisps in a pack now.
That is
piss
another
day.
thing, yeah. We're going downhill. Final one that I've got, which is a fun one to end on.
Ronald McDonald.
I want to ask the audience a question. Was the adverts that we had growing up, and a lot of them now, I think they'd be banned nowadays. I think they'd be classed as racist or homophobic or anti-something. But the one that definitely wasn't was the Frosties advert with the kid. And they're going to taste great.
They're going to taste great. I know you want to do it.
Yeah, that was the one. Now, the funny thing about this was the advert for the Frosties with this kid. He came on and remember this was before social media, so no one had any way of tracking what happened to this kid, but there were so many conspiracies about what actually happened, and it depended where you were in the country and what schools you went to. Something different happened to that Frosties kid, and it'll be on the screen so you can get an idea and a link to the advert so you can watch it for yourselves. If you don't know the Frosties, you're going to taste great advert. And it was one of those things where from our school, he had killed himself. And he sort of, I can't remember how, I don't know whether he jumped off a building or something. He jumped off his school roof or something because he was getting bullied. Because of the advert, he was getting that badly terrored. He had to, some people's schools thought he fled the country. Some thought he'd like smashed his head on a pencil or something.
Yeah. Well, mine, he ate that many Frosties that he turned into a bowl of Frosties. Apparently, that was said at my school.
I think you must have got to a special needs school.
Everyone believed it as well. No one could eat it anymore.
Yeah, I
like
seem to remember you being
in
in a school for extra needs and extra care. But yeah, no,
couldn't
weird
have a pencil. Could
conspiracy theories. You only figured that out because again, it was one of those things that you then talk about with different people as you grow older, and you go, "Oh, we're talking about nostalgia," and you recognise the Frosties advert, and you got different got different stories from different people, and we'd speak to people from Sheffield. We go, "Oh, you remember that Frosties advert?" Just somehow randomly come up in conversation. They go, "Oh yeah, he had to leave and flee to Thailand, didn't he?" We go, "No, he jumped off a roof and killed himself." They were like, "No, he didn't." They were like, "Yeah, he did." It was this whole thing that everybody. It was a big conspiracy. So it never got to the bottom of it. But some mysteries are best left unsolved. So Frosty's Kid, I don't know where you are or what you're doing, but drop a comment below.
We'll have him on the podcast.
Drop a
Find out what
comment
happened.
below what the story or conspiracy was from your school. I'd love to know. So if the Frosty's Kid, whether he killed himself, whether he fled the country,
Turned into
whether
a bowl
he
of Frosties.
changed his name, there were so many different ones. Or your special needs, but turned into a bowl of Frosties.
You never know, though. Could have done.
Could have done. 90s, man. Good times.
Those are the days.
Those were the days.
Bring it back. Come to the new wacky 90s museum and we'll take you around.
I think it would be a nice thing to do, yeah, definitely to go back. But 90s, it's a shame. I don't know whether it's everybody's nostalgia would be the same. Maybe if you were born in the 2010s, because if you're born in 2010, 2 years from now, you'll be 18. That's wild to think. Whereas when we were growing up, I mean, even now, it blows my mind. I remember that whole transition when somebody would say they were born in the year 2000 and that they were 18. And I was like, that's weird, that is to think.
Yeah. Imagine being born on a millennium. That'd be pretty much, wouldn't it? Oh, well, missed it just. Thank God.
Absolutely, yeah. We had it the best. If you think that your childhood was better than ours and you think that the noughties or the 2010s are better than the 90s,
you're wrong.
Then you are unfortunately misguided and wrong. But if you think that we're wrong, comment below why, because I'd be interested to know what is nostalgic about your childhood that we didn't have. Again, if you're also from the 60s, 70s, 80s, you might have a case. So I'd be interested to hear about some of the nostalgic moments from your childhood as well. So thank you very much for diving into the 90s with us. If there's anything that stood out, again, genuinely, I'd love to hear some of the comments and things that we've missed from the 90s. So if you share a similar birthday and you were born in the best decade in human history, let us know below and let us know of anything we've missed. But in the meantime, drop a like. Remember to subscribe. We'll leave that in. And we'll catch you in the next episode.
They're gonna taste great. They're gonna taste great. I can hear the sound of Frosties hitting me play.